This is a technology tool titled How to Use an Apostrophe. It aims to explain the basic uses of the apostrophe. There are more rules and exceptions. However, at Level 4 I have only touched on the two common uses of the apostrophe. The exceptions are not as common and can be dealt with once the students have the firm grasp of the concept. This tool can be used as a video or a slideshow tool if played directly. If it is played as a keynote or a PowerPoint presentation, it can be advanced using the mouse as the teacher or student likes. The benefit of viewing the presentation this way is that the students can read the slide and discuss the examples before advancing onto the next slide. There is also the benefit of being able to replay the presentation more than once in the same lesson or followed up in subsequent lessons. Having the student review the same material will help them remember the rules, as repetition can be a very powerful tool. This tool demonstrates two rules of using the apostrophe. The first use being that of a conjunction. In this case, the tool presents the conjunction and its rule. The slides then demonstrate how when the letters are removed to join two words, an apostrophe needs to take their place. There are following slides that show examples, then some that allow the students to have a go themselves. The next rule demonstrated is that of using the apostrophe for a plural. The presentation introduces the use of an apostrophe where an item is owned by one person and therefore the apostrophe is placed before the S. The other plural use is where an item is owned by more than one person and the apostrophe is placed after the S, is also dealt with. In the same manner as the conjunction rule, the slides scaffold the students' learning from the introduction of the rule to some examples followed by examples they can try themselves. This tool is not necessarily designed to be used as part of a specific lesson on the apostrophe, but if it was to be, the tool introduces the apostrophe and its uses in an engaging way. The rules of using an apostrophe are introduced one at a time and examples are given for each. The presentation finishes with a revision slide which recaps the information already given. It would be best used in the PowerPoint format if it was a specific lesson on the apostrophe. This would allow the teacher to advance the slides at a rate that the children understand. The teacher would give more explanation about the concepts between each slide if required. The tool could also be used at the beginning of the lesson, and once it was viewed and discussed, the lesson could progress on to the students finding further examples of the apostrophe. This tool could also be used as a quick warm-up lesson. In my experience with students at Level 4, they are aware of punctuation but have trouble using it consistently. So if I was teaching a lesson where there was any form of writing involved and not specifically on the apostrophe, I would use it simply as a reminder of the rules and some examples. In this case, it would be best to play the tool as a video. That way, it is done within a specific time. The children would still follow the presentation from its introduction to the conclusion with a recap, but as it's only revision, it can be dealt with quicker. This tool has been designed so that it can also be used as part of an online lesson or a self-directed lesson. The use of the Try Some Yourself slides allow the students to have a go at placing the apostrophe before advancing the presentation onto the next slide for the answer. This could also be placed onto a school's intranet or Ultranet where students could have access to it at any time. If I was teaching a class, I would find this method very useful, as it could be placed on the Ultranet and a homework task could be created using the tool where students view the presentation and create their own examples, or even find some examples from their set reading tasks. There are obviously many ways of using this tool, and all are very appropriate ways of scaffolding students through the use of the apostrophe or the use of simply as a revision tool. Thank you.